I thought he played beautifully the whole comp. I thought he gave a lot of confidence to the players around him. The quality of his striking, not just straight down the ground, but all around the wicket was outstanding, and they just couldn't bowl to him. I think there's a lot more to come from Joe, not just in the Blast, but across all formats, and I'm really excited what the future holds for him.
Paul, it's Joe Clarke who's taken the Vitality Blast Player of the Year award. So many standout performances for him, but what is it that sticks out first if you think about Joe's Blast campaign?
I think the way he went about it from the start. I think he'd looked at his previous campaigns and the successes and the challenges he'd faced, tried to redress his game a little bit, and really tried to enhance himself as a player. I think that the way he marked everybody's card with how he played at Durham when he made that wonderful 100, and I think the confidence that gave him in his practice and the method he was trying to implement then just sort of flowed through his game. I thought he played beautifully the whole comp. I thought he gave a lot of confidence to the players around him, and I'm really pleased for him.
Let's take a quick look at that Durham 100. First time the Outlaws got onto the field for a game this season, chasing a reasonable total as well. What was that like to watch from the sidelines?
It was a reasonable total and probably above par total for Chesterless Street. It was a decent pitch, some interesting boundary dimensions, very different to the ones we would normally use. Clarke made them look small. I mean, the wind I think was howling down from one end, and he just thumped it. He hit it such a long way, and the quality of his striking, not just straight down the ground, but all around the wicket was outstanding, and they just couldn't bowl to him. They didn't have a plan B, and if they did try a plan B, they didn't have a plan C. And fair play to him for that. I think the rest of the guys acknowledged that he was playing very, very well that day, and just left him to it and just played around him, and we cruised home quite comfortably in the end.
There's a lot of talk about the batting depth in the Outlaws side, and a lot of batsmen of different styles as well. I mean, what is it that Joe brings to that lineup?
I think he's settled position now. Hopefully in the lineup. I think his ability this year, I think, to clear the ropes, and have the confidence to go for the big shot and not feel like there's going to be consequence all the time. And we've really tried to encourage the lads to play attacking cricket. We want them to attack the boundary. And his ability to do that with confidence this year, I think, gave, like you said, the guys around him that confidence that, if he got striking at 150, 180, sometimes even at 200 throughout the competition, it gave us a real platform to build on.
How do you think he's improved over the couple of years you've seen him now?
He has, because he's a young player and he's hungry. So at any time, it doesn't mean that improvement always walks onto the field at any given time. We see him a lot in practice. You see the things he's trying to implement, a better understanding in his game and what he wants from his game, and you improve from failure as well, as long as you've got the right mindset for it. So look, I'm really pleased for him. I think there's a lot more to come from Joe, not just in the Blast, but across all formats, and I'm really excited what the future holds for him.
And for someone who won this trophy with Worcestershire a couple of years ago and then had the semi-final defeat with Notts last year, what did it seem to mean in those celebrations on finals day?
Yeah, I think both for him and Ben, new boys at the club in their second year with us, had success at their previous county in this format. They wanted to show that they were serious operators in this form. We knew they were, and we know how good and high quality rounded players they are. But yeah, there was a real sense of satisfaction for Joe. After having had some real strong personal success, there's nothing better than rounding it off with a team trophy like so.